Today's video is so kindly brought to you by Squarespace. Hi there, and welcome to your Pick a Card Tarot readings for December and Saggitarius season. If you're watching this at a different time, that is also okay because energy is timeless. And so if you're connecting with me right now, that's a sign that there are probably messages here relevant to your situation. Now, before we get into it, I just want to make a quick personal announcement. You might or might not have heard that I'm offering a trip to Costa Rica in March of 2024. This is a partnership with Trova Trip, and the way they operate is that they have a deadline, and I need to get 8 signups before that deadline in order for the trip to go ahead. And that deadline is quickly approaching. It's actually December 3rd. So this is my last-ditch effort to see if anybody would be interested who perhaps haven't come across my posts recently. So the description, the full itinerary is in the description below. And if you would like to join, I also have a promo code to sweeten the deal. It's CR100 to save $100 off of the early bird price. I am fully surrendered to whether if this trip happens or if it doesn't, because I trust that that is what the universe wishes. Either way, but you know, it would be really fun if we could share this experience together. My dad is super excited to be a part of this experience. I invited him on as my +1, so it'd be really nice to meet you face to face and connect with you and share some really unforgettable experiences together. So that's in the description below. Thank you so much for listening. Now, why don't we get into a quick meditation to get centered before we look at the readings today. So I'm going to ring this 3 times. With each ring, take a deep breath in and out, and take this moment to arrive in your body and settle into your seat. Create space between your eyebrows and soften your eyes. Imagine relaxing the space behind your eyes. Relax the back of your ears. Part your lips, lower your jaw. Lower your shoulders. Sink into your seat. Arrive in this moment. And pull your awareness down into your heart space. For today's readings, be sure to listen from your heart space. Listen for what resonates and lights you up. Listen for what brings a sense of peace and quiets your mind. Listen for what eases your burdens and what calms you down and calms you down. Now, if you're ready, you can open your eyes and look at the 3 groups before you. For group 1, we have a labradorite necklace with a cross-shaped pearl pendant, and we also have the Four Noble Tarot deck. For group 2, we have a clear quartz pendant, and we also have the Light Seers deck. For group 3, we have a carnelian necklace and the Awaken Tarot deck. Now, soften your gaze and notice which group stands out to you. Where do you feel a pull? Which group is calling you? Is it group 1, group 2, or group 3? And know that you don't have to think too hard. Sometimes our first impulse is the correct one. Sometimes we have messages in more than one reading, so you're welcome to go with your first choice and then listen to the other reading later. Once you've chosen your group, you can go down to the timestamps below to click on your reading, and I'll see you over there. If you chose group 1, this labradorite necklace, or the tarot deck Four Noble Tarot, and this is your reading. Hi, group 1. We're going to get started with your current energies. By the way, if you would like to get your hands on this tarot deck, I do have a promo code in the description below The creator of this deck, Francis, so graciously offered it to us. This is not sponsored. I have just known her for a while, and she's also an incredible, very intuitive Reiki master. So if you're ever looking for one-on-one session of that sort, definitely connect with her. Alright, so what do we need to know about your current energies? Group 1. Current energies. We have the Star card as the first to come out, and the only major arcana at the moment. And this is overlooking the Eight of Cups and the Ace of Cups. So it looks like there's a leaving and an arriving. A leaving of emotions that no longer serve you, and a welcoming of purified, overflowing, restorative emotions that are heart-centered and overall more healthy. So with the Star card, this comes after a challenging moment, after the Tower. You might have experienced something recently that has been rattling, challenging, difficult, earth-shattering, and you're needing to pick yourself back up now and find your feet again. The Star is a period after something really difficult where you need to be gentle and soft with yourself as you restore your trust and faith in the universe again. And when we do this, we slowly come back into communion with grace, with understanding that there's greater forces outside of us helping us and supporting us and wanting the best for us, and that they're not all that these forces don't hate us, that they meant to teach us a lesson. They weren't here to completely break the world apart. So it's a very healing and regenerative period the Star represents. And I think as you are soft and tender with yourself, you are releasing a lot of emotions that no longer serve you. In the Rider-Waite image, we see a pilgrim leave behind his cups toward two mountains and a valley. So he's leaving for a pilgrimage because he realizes that he's not going to find ultimate fulfillment from his cups. His cups have become simply attachments, and therefore he needs to leave them behind if he seeks higher knowledge, higher wisdom, higher fulfillment, greater fulfillment. So this is leaving behind attachments to energy buildup in the body that you realize is not helping you move forward, but rather it's holding you back. And this can show up in a variety of ways, in, unhelpful thoughts, negative emotions, certain habitual tendencies and behaviors. Doesn't have to just be emotions felt as emotions, but it's energy that's dense and pent up in the body that makes you do things in a misaligned way that you know isn't serving you, that you know is actually obstructing the truth and holding you back from where you want to be. But I believe we got these two cards through the Suit of Cups because Spirit wants you to see this as an emotional process. If you want to move through this gracefully and easefully, you gotta understand that at the root, you must feel what you're trying to release. It's not a matter of analyzing them and, spinning yourself around in your head. it's a matter of feeling something embodied, feeling felt sense, and moving things through somatically, honoring your emotions and honoring, what you can feel. And with the Ace of Cups, I think Spirit's wanting you to know that it's not all dark and gloomy. You have the Star and the Ace of Cups here to tell you that this is actually very restorative for you. You are regenerating as you go through this process of feeling uncomfortable emotions. Because as much as you are letting them go, you're also creating space for flow to come back into your life, for purified thoughts and feelings that are aligned with the truth, aligned with where you want to go and how you want to be. So Spirit's emphasizing here with these two very gentle cards, the Star and the Ace of Cups, that it's not all dark and gloomy. The world isn't out to get you. You are feeling what you have to feel in order to restore flow, in order to purify, to regenerate. So this is all a restorative process, and you need to see it as such. This is really beautiful energy. I'm so glad that we got the Star here to, deliver these messages, because I think I could have delivered this in a variety of ways, but because the Star and the Ace of Cups is here, I'm wanting to really emphasize that there's a feeling of gentleness here that you want to lean into. Be soft and gentle with the process. Learn to trust yourself as you go through this. You are divinity. You are the universe. You are consciousness. Consciousness is what is going through this to realize itself. So restore trust in yourself. With the Star card, restore trust in yourself. That's restoring trust in the universe. The universe and you are one and the same. What else do we need to know for group 1? You have the Moon. And Judgment. Beautiful. So I'm seeing this as intuition, as pulling back truths that you've denied in yourself and recognizing how much you already know about the process you're in. This is remembering your truths, pulling them back out of the darkness, out of the shadows, out of the basement, and remembering, oh yeah, I do know what I'm talking about. I do know what's going on. I've got a good head on my shoulders. I can handle this. You know so much. You've just forgotten that you know. It's time to, off of the wisdom that you have forgotten that is there, and pull it back into your conscious identity, your conscious mind. You know what's going on. You know what to do. You can trust yourself. I'm going to pull an archetype from the Wild Unknown now. It's been a while since we've used this deck. What is an archetype that would serve group 1 to study and observe in themselves at this time? you have the mystic. Lovely. Going to go into the guidebook to read to you what this card is about. The mystic, the seeker, the light worker, the dreamer. The mystic is often misunderstood in our culture, depicted as a wandering or light-hearted daydreamer. Yet like Shiva, the true mystic plays a critical role in society, remaining fearlessly dedicated to the path of transformation. In order to save the earth from darkness, Shiva swallows the poison of the world and holds it in his throat, slowly transmuting the liquid into nectar. This is the work of the mystic. They do not fear darkness, but rather sit in the presence of it, harness the potential and latent energy behind it, and embed it with light. They are patient and prudent change makers, seeking growth above all else. Unanswerable questions are the mystic's lifeblood. The mystic revels in mystery, in the great riddle of life, dancing with the forces of light and dark upon its wings. When light, this is the remover of darkness, visionary, ageless. When dark, it expects results, seeks attention and recognition. To go deeper, you can look into Zen koans, poetry, and Murakami novels. Like any light worker, the mystic must build a relationship with fire. This begins by awakening the inner flame, or tapas, within. It may seem that the mystic is inward-facing, yet its light beams back to the world with the strength of 1,000 stars. And there we have the star again. Oh, I love this so much. So, the work of the mystic is to not fear the darkness, but rather sit in the presence of it, harness the potential and latent energy behind it, and embed it with light. And that's exactly what these two cards are trying to convey to you. So in a dual sense, it can look like you are releasing darkness and then welcoming light, but it's really a transmutation, isn't it? You are not really releasing emotions, you're just restoring the flow. You are transmuting these dense energies and purifying them into light, into something that can be more in alignment with where you want to go. And I think this process must have brought a lot up, must have brought up doubt, questions, and know that this is a part of being a mystic. This card, this archetype, is encouraging you to revel in the mysteries. The moon represents the mysteries, the things that will never be answered, the unanswerable, the riddles, the shadows. The mystic revels in all of that. That's your lifeblood. That is what restores. I keep saying restore. And that is what helps you remember who you really are. That's what helps you remember your truth and what's really going on here. Revel in the mysteries. And like Shiva, swallow the poison of the world and transmute it into nectar. I'm noticing quite a lot of soreness in my throat. This has been happening a lot recently, but this is particularly obvious to me at the moment with this reading. And I wanted to mention it earlier, actually, that perhaps you are working with your throat at this time as well. Might not apply to all of you, but some of you, because we do have it here that Shiva holds the poison in his throat, slowly transmuting the liquid into nectar. So if you're experiencing throat blockages and that's kind of what's creating these doubts and, and that's the dense energy you're trying to purify and transmute, then this message could be for you. This could be confirmation that you're here and you're supposed to be hearing this. I'm going to get Work Your Light card now. Group 1. Oh, they just keep flying up. Group 1. Soul family, call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. So there are people around you who can support you, who can remind you of what you've forgotten or what you need to hear, who can remind you of your light. Now, upon hearing this, if you know who those people are, maybe it's time to reach out to them for some holding space. What else do you need to hear, Group 1? Trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? I encourage you to journal on this question. Write at least a page of just free flow thoughts on this. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? Transformation. Things are changing at a cellular level. Deep healing. So if you've been doubting whether your process is actually working and if you're actually healing through all this, because sometimes it gets darker before the dawn, you are. This is confirmation that the process is working. Even if you doubt it, there's deep healing that is happening right now. And I think Spirit really wants you to know that this whole thing has been about healing and changing your perspective on it. I think you've accumulated doubt and maybe the opinions of others to some degree on your internal process, and the Spirit's wanting you to trust that your judgment is correct, what you're doing is working, and you know what you need to do. So trust yourself in all of this, and shut out other people's opinions. What works for others don't work for you. What works for you might not work for them. So trust your own process. And there is deep healing that is happening at the moment, even if you doubt it. Now, I'm going to get a card from the Moonology deck. The answers you need are coming, full moon in Gemini. You will receive clarity very soon. It's coming. You will receive clarity very soon. The answers you need are coming. Now let's get some future energies, group 1. What do we need to know for the near future if you are to follow Spirit's advice here? Couple more cards, please. Okay, we have the High Priestess. I love to see that, given that we got the Moon earlier and Judgment. In restoring trust in yourself and remembering your truths, remembering your wisdom, you're going to be able to sit more comfortably in the seat of the High Priestess. The High Priestess is somebody who's incredibly intuitive, connected to her subconscious, connected to the esoteric wisdoms that most cannot see and cannot understand. She has a powerful way of delivering transmissions because she is so connected to the unseen, the symbolic realms, the mythic realms. She is a mystic. And I think for you, what I want to drill in here is, as you restore trust in yourself and remember your innate wisdom, you will develop the ability to be more sovereign in owning on all of that, in owning your place here as the High Priestess, as a mystic, with all that you know and with all that you've experienced and transmuted. Yeah, so that's that, which is so incredibly powerful, and I'm so happy to be delivering this message. And with the Page of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles, I'm getting the start of a new career venture, a new creative project, something that's very rooted in the physical, where you want to go from A to Z. You want to see it through to completion, and you want to do this, go through this process properly. The Page of Pentacles is somebody who recognizes that they don't know everything, that they're a beginner to material reality and what it takes to creatively manifest something, but he's willing to honor the process and do everything correctly in order to get to the final product, the final manifestation of that creative idea. So he's very serious about the material world, and he's ready to admit that he doesn't know. He's ready to be humble and learn from others and acknowledge his shortcomings. So I think this humility is a quality that you're going to be able to embody more readily in the future, along with the High Priestess. So as much as you are going to be the sovereign priestess and mystic, you're going to be able to deliver your transmissions and wisdom with a level of humility and humanity. That's the Page of Pentacles. And I think because of this, it's going to pave way for you to take your projects, your career, the stuff that you gotta do in physical reality more seriously. You're going to be able to take all of that more seriously with more responsibility and ownership. And I think that will ultimately, eventually, take you to the King of Pentacles, to feeling very secure in what you've created, in what's bringing in wealth, abundance, and resources for you. Wow. All of this is so beautiful. I'm going to end with one more Moonology card. What What else does group 1 need to know before we go? Group 1. What else does group 1 need to know? There you go. The perfect summary to all of this. You will be balancing spirituality with practicality. Full moon in Pisces. I also want to emphasize that Pisces energy is the most mature of all the zodiacs. It's the last one that we get to. This is the elder of all the zodiac signs. When you get to this point, you have a renewed innocence, but because you have lived through so much, that you can go back to innocence. And I think that's the beauty of Piscean energy. It's fluffy. People like to think that it's very daydreamy and fluffy, but it's rooted in wisdom. That renewed innocence comes back to you once you've gone through all of life's difficulties and challenges and you've matured, that you can have fun now. So, yeah, with all of that said, you will be balancing spirituality and practicality. You will get to this point where you can own your wisdom, your spirituality, and all the mysticism in you with sovereignty. You can own it and, display it fully. So that was your reading, group 1. I hope that you found it helpful. It was such a pleasure to read for you. Let me know in the comments below how it resonated. And I'm sending you so much love, light, and healing. I'll see you in another reading or in another video. Bye. If you chose group 2, this clear quartz pendant, then this is your reading. At group 2, for you guys, we have the Light Seers deck, and we will get started with your current energies. So group 2, what do you have in store for us for December and Sagittarius season? Group 2, what do we need to know about group 2? Tell us more, please. Group 2, tell us more. Oh, these are really nice cards. Okay, tell us more, please. Okay, now I'm going to get a couple of cards from Marcel's Oracle. So we have the 6 of Wands, 10 of Cups, and the Moon. From Marcel's Oracle, we have Vivid Dreams and Collection. So it looks like life is actually feeling very positive at the moment. You're in some sort of flow, things are looking bright, you're in high spirits. The 10 of Cups is the feeling of emotional fulfillment, where you're able to feel gratitude and appreciation for what you have because you're just so full emotionally. And the 6 of Wands is a feeling of recognition and victory and pride. It's when people celebrate your success and they clap for you. You get a standing ovation and everyone's telling you how proud they are of you. So you might have achieved something recently that is making you feel very much in high spirits at the moment. You could be enjoying your day-to-day and just really appreciative and grateful for what you have. You could be spending a lot of time with family and loved ones, and things are just steady and going well. For some of you, you might have graduated from school recently. You might have accomplished some sort of milestone that closed off a big chapter, and now you're just taking it slow, enjoying time with family while figuring out what to do next. So it's a bit of a transitional phase that I'm getting for some of you, because we have the moon, and the moon is about what we are unable to see with clarity, and that instilling some fears and doubts in us. The moon card comes before the sun, and so it's like the feeling of being up at night and hearing sounds and not knowing what to make of it, because your senses are just less capable in the middle of the night. So when Indian metaphor is, sometimes you can see a rope in the shadows and confuse it for a snake. That's the energy of the moon. It's when things are unclear and we get a little bit scared and worried. And this comes before the sun, so we always eventually reach clarity, but before we get there, there's a period of concern. And that's kind of where you are right now. You have doubts, you have concerns and fears, and there's something you're lacking clarity about. And it could be about what to do next. Where are you going to go? What are you going to do now that you've closed off this thing and it's been successful, and you know, you feel accomplished? So how do you move forward from there? We also have vivid dreams and collection, and this to me is, I think you have certain desires that you want to follow and manifest and realize. And this is kind of standing in opposition to what you believe the collective wants from you. Could be what your family wants from you, what society wants from you, what the culture expects of you. You believe that what you're dreaming of accomplishing and realizing is in opposition to what you think is expected of you from the larger culture, collective. So that's what we have for your current energies. Let's see if Spirit wants to add to this. What else do we need to know? Yeah, so it's like there's a lot of fire here. There's a lot of energy. You have the Magician, and it came out like this earlier with the Ten of Wands behind it. So it's like you're wanting to pave the way and be a trendsetter and try new things and experiment with all of this life force that is alive in you. And what's shadowing you is the Ten of Wands, which is the feeling of burden and dense energy and just a lot of stuff that you feel like you have to carry, that you've inherited and accumulated over time. So there's this desire to burst and spring forward. That's in the Magician. But there's almost something like an invisible, shadowy force that's trying to hold you back, which you can feel as a sense of burden and responsibility to something larger than yourself. Let's get an archetype from the wild unknown. What is an archetype that group 2 can focus on at this time to better understand their situation? We have the Lover. So beautiful. I'm going to go into the guidebook now to read to you what this card is about. Okay. And I invite you to study this image and just notice what sort of feelings it brings up in you. The lover, the heart, the beloved, the devoted. Pulsing through the heart of the lover is gratitude. The lover appreciates and experiences the world through the senses, reveling in beauty, song, art, music, sense, and sensuality. This energy awakens at the tip of our tongue when we taste the sweetness of honey, kiss a lover, or speak gentle words to a child. The lover lingers in foreplay, aroused not by the getting there, but by the slow merging of self and other. This energy is usually experienced for short periods of time, as in order to feel it, we must be fully present and awake, with no expectations or rules about what should be. Rather, the lover is in awe of what the world presents, reveling in the glorious details, grateful to savor every last drop of life's offerings. When light, this is connection, expansion, devotion, and awe. When dark, it's indulgence, attachment, obsession. To go deeper, you can contemplate Aphrodite, Krishna, and Radha. The lover archetype is present everywhere, not just where conventional forms of pleasure and beauty are found. The lover's awe is unconditional. When you hold someone's gaze for several moments, you'll see the lover within you awaken. It is common to seek the lover in another. The true gift is finding the lover in yourself. Interesting. I actually did not expect us to get an archetype such as this, but it's lovely that you have this. This really confirms the first two cards that we got, the 10 of Cups and the 6 of Wands. Spirit's encouraging you to appreciate and experience the world through the senses. Spirit's encouraging you to play with beauty, song, art, music, sense, and sensuality. There's this energy that's awakening in you, and Spirit's encouraging you to nurture it through appreciating beauty in life. And that's very much the 10 of Cups. We must be fully present and awake with no expectations or rules about what should be. So do not dim your light with the shoulds and shouldn'ts of the collective, because I don't think other people are here at the moment, or not everyone around you, right? So do not let those who are in denser energies influence what you've tapped into and what you're currently trying to nurture and awakening yourself. So do not concern yourselves with the shoulds and shouldn'ts. Do not let that worry you or trap energy that is wanting to free flow so freely in you. Do not let that trap you. Be present and awake. Release expectations and rules. Savor every last drop of life's offerings. Appreciate and experience through your senses. Revel in beauty. And I think if you are looking for an answer as to what to do next, where to go, you'll find that through reveling in beauty. You'll find that through encouraging this flow. The magician desires to create and manifest only because he has so much energy, at his disposal. So as you continue to harness this energy and nurture it, it will eventually show you the way and which direction to go and what to create. So don't concern yourself with figuring out that answer prematurely. Just nurture the energy that is beginning to wake up in you. Now, let's get some work your light messages. What does group 2 need to hear? You're already doing it. Stop overthinking. Keep facing your true north. You're already doing it. Stop overthinking. Keep facing your true north. Group 2, what else do you need to hear? Pillar of light, your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. You are a pillar of light. Do not let others dim your light. Your vibration is rising. Nurture that. You are the oracle. Leap. You go first. The universe will catch you. You are protected. You are supported. You're going in the right direction. Take leaps of faith. Trust in what's unfolding for you at the moment. It's all happening accordingly as it's meant to. You don't have to have it figured out. There is divine orchestration at play, council of light. There are helpers in the subtle realms. Trust in them. You can connect with them also. You can speak to them through journaling, through sitting silently. So one thing I'm feeling called to share with you is, if you have questions, if you need some confirmation or reassurance, you can write down your questions in your journal from speaking from you, from your egoic self, and then you can answer that on the flip side of the journal, the paper that you wrote it on, and answer it as if you are channeling the helpers in the subtle realms, as if you're channeling your spirit guides or your higher self. That's a practice that can come in really handy sometimes. So I felt called to share that with you. Okay, let's get a Moonology card now. What does group 2 need to hear? Have faith in your dreams. Waxing crescent moon. Have faith in your dreams. Have faith in this energy that's alive within you. Your dreams are vivid for a reason. They're alive within you for a reason. Do not deny them. Your dreams are specific to you because they're not meant for anybody else. You don't need others to understand. Your dreams are only for you to see. Your dreams are only for you to realize. Okay, now let's get some future energies. What might be possible for group 2 if they are to follow the advice here, Spirit? Nice. This is awesome. Okay. So we have, oh, okay. We actually have a lot of cards for you. We have the Page of Cups and the Two of Wands together. So the Page of Cups is about being a romantic, believing in your dreams, believing in the impossible, and having your heart on your sleeve and willing to risk it all just for your dreams to come true. It's that kind of embodiment. It's allowing your feelings to lead you in life. And sometimes being innocent with that also, because the page is not a knight yet, not a queen, not a king. The page is young. The page is naive and new to all of this. So he embraces his innocence as well. He knows that he might get hurt, but that's just part of the experience. So allow yourself to be innocent. Allow your feelings to take the lead and guide you. Especially when it comes to choosing what you're going to do next. So the Two of Wands is about being selective with your options and making choices in regards to what you want to take action on. She has a globe in this image, caravan, and she has two wands. She has to make a choice and pick one of these wands. So there's a sense of feeling like you have to be selective about it. You're going to be selective with the choices available to you and choose the one that sparks the most joy. So you might decide to travel to change locations in the near future. You might choose a job out of many opportunities. You might make some pretty big changes to your situation and circumstances in the near future and take action in a direction that really aligns with you. Because we have the Ace of Pentacles as well, followed by the Ten of Pentacles. So the Ace of Pentacles is experiencing something new in your material reality, crossing a sort of portal in the sense that you're going to see, hear, smell, taste, touch things that you haven't yet been able to sense and experience. So this can be a new relationship, a new level to a relationship, a new job, new level of abundance, security, stability, and wealth, a new home, a new location, place that you're moving to perhaps. Newness is coming in, particularly things that you can experience in this material reality. And this new thing that you're going to choose is eventually going to pave way for ultimate security and wealth. And so much that this will be something that you can leave behind as legacy. And I think I'm hearing the spirits wanting to keep this vague because there's so many ways that this can go, and this is a general reading. But just know that whatever you choose will lead to something bigger. It will pave way for your ultimate sense of abundance in the far future. And yeah, that's where Spirit's wanting to cap it at. You also have the Knight of Wands. this is feeling a lot of creative impulse, spontaneity, a lot of sensual energy and passion and charisma. It's like the feeling of like wanting to leap out of your bed and do 100 jumping jacks. Like, it's just passion for life, passion to pursue something and take action. And I love this, given that we started with the Six of Wands and we got the Magician. And despite having some doubts and concerns and burdens, there is a lot of energy in your group, a lot of potency, and desire to take action to create and manifest. And I just invite you to really nurture that. Do not stifle it just because other people are doing that to themselves. Do not stifle this. Do not try to dim your light because you see that all around you. Nurture this light, this fire. Yeah. I'm going to leave you with one more card from the Moonology deck. Oh, that's crazy. I didn't realize I put this back in the deck. And here we have it again. Have faith in your dreams. Wow. I'm getting goosebumps. Have faith in your dreams. This little action, this little choice that you make in the future is going to lay the proper foundations for something really big for you to realize your dreams, whatever that is. Trust in that. Have faith in that. That was your reading, group 2. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that you found this reading helpful. Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. And sending you so much love, light, and healing. And I'll see you in another reading or in another video. Thanks for being here. Bye. If you chose group 3, the carnelian necklace, then this is your reading. Hi, group 3. For your group, we have the Awakened Tarot deck. I'm just going to get started by shuffling and getting a pool of cards for your current energies. What do we need to know for group 3? Group 3, please. Clarification, please. Clarification. Okay. I'm also going to get a couple of cards from Marcel's Oracle. Interesting. For some reason, I find your energy a little bit elusive. I'm not quite understanding why. We have inertia and decay from Marcel's Oracle. We have 10 of Wands, the World, 4 of Cups, and the Hanged Man. You have 2 major arcana cards, which is more than the other 2 groups. So there's a big cycle coming to completion, big lesson coming to completion. You are finding wholeness. And I believe this is happening through the Hanged Man. That is the lesson itself. The Hanged Man is about deliberately putting a halt, a pause to our progress in order to see the situation from a different perspective. So it's recognizing that maybe our perspective was a little distorted and our approach was a little bit forceful, and we might have been straining where we didn't need to be. And so we have to stop, put everything to a halt in order to mend wherever that disconnect is, so that we can then move forward once again with a better approach, with approach that's in alignment with the way the universe intended it to be, with the truth of reality, and move forward with clarity also, and a sense of peace instead of stress, instead of feeling the tendency to strain and force things into place. So the Hanged Man puts himself upside down in order to awaken to a new perspective. He understands that this is uncomfortable, but he chooses to get uncomfortable because it's going to be worthwhile. So there's discomfort to staying still, to putting a pause on life. There's discomfort to meditation, because ultimately this is what meditation is. It's when we let go of all the distortions, all of the forcing and straining and stress and unnecessary tension around life. When we let all of that go, we return to the way things naturally are. We see things the way naturally are, and that then paves way for a more aligned approach towards our situation. So that's the lesson here. And I think you are getting very close to integrating this lesson, putting it to completion, and moving forward from it. You have the Ten of Wands and Four of Cups. So there's a sense of burden, responsibility, stress, and it's been weighing you down. It's been holding you back. This could have been what was contributing to your forceful approach previously, distorted perspective previously. This could have been what was creating that for you. There used to be a lot of tension. Maybe there still is to a certain extent. This tension that you've been, holding inside was what has been contributing to a distorted perspective of your situation, and what's been making it hard for you to approach reality correctly. And I think this was also preventing you from seeing opportunities and taking on opportunities. The Four of Cups is a feeling of dissatisfaction and boredom, and feeling just disenchanted with life, because you're so used to the emotions that you've been feeling, and they're no longer sparking joy. They're no longer fun and fulfilling to feel and experience. And the universe is offering you a new cup, but you just cannot see it for some reason. You are unable to receive it. So the universe wants to give you an opportunity to experience more joy, more fulfilling emotions, to experience something new emotionally, to feel something. And you haven't been able to receive that opportunity to feel. So I believe that is why you have gone into stillness and pause. Now I'm going to get a couple more cards if Spirit wants to add to what we have here. Is there anything else we need to know for Group 3's current situation? Anything else, Group 3? I'm sensing some dissatisfaction also with a reverse Eight of Pentacles about how lengthy this process has been. There's a bit of exhaustion almost with the dissatisfaction, disenchantment you're feeling. Like, when are we going to get our big break? Like, why am I still here? You know, it's the inertia and the slight feeling of decay. It's just, there's disenchantment here. There's exhaustion and a slight pessimism in the air. Yeah. But despite all of that, I think you're very sincere about wanting to learn the lesson of the Hanged Man. So a larger part of you, maybe your higher self, is seeing the lesson in all of this and why it's important that you're at a pause right now and why you need to reframe your perspective and approach your situation differently. And I think that's why we have the world, because the world is the capital S self archetype. It's the self. It's the whole of you, which some attribute to the higher self, like they call it the higher self, but it's really the whole of you. It's when you are able to be all of you and own all of you. That is when you have this very wise outlook. And so I think you're very close to embodying this, and this archetype is present in your life. It's close, and you do have a broader understanding of why this is going on, but that doesn't cancel the fact that your egoic self, your smaller self, feels a bit of pessimism and disenchantment at the moment with the way things are. Now I want to get an archetype from the wild unknown. What is an archetype that can support group 3 at the moment? What is an archetype that they can study in order to help their situation? Group 3. You have the cave. Okay. I'm going to go into the guidebook to read to you what this is about. And I encourage you to study this image, feel into it, notice what it evokes within you. The cave, the dark, the portal, the interior. Those who are fortunate enough to find and enter the cave are forever changed. It is a place of potent power, acting both as a portal to another realm and a space for sacred ritual and initiation. The cave is a place to return for meaningful retreat, where one can see the true self in the darkness. In esoteric teachings, the cave is known to reside in the center of the heart. Within its walls, the whispers of compassion and self-understanding can be heard. Yet, because of its mystery and power, many of us fear the cave and never try to find it. We busy ourselves in the bright lights of the city, while the cavernous and dimly lit chamber calls out to us in the night. Where is your cave? You already know. Return to it and tend the fire. When light, this is the sacred center within. When dark, it's withdrawal, isolation, and hiding. To go deeper, I'm going to butcher this, study Lascaux, the Cave of Crystals, the Blue Grotto. Slowly and steadily, crystals of enormous magnitude grow within the dark confines of caves. Let the cave teach you patience. Envision yourself as an old sage in a cave. What amenities do you need? What draws you even closer to the cave within the cave? So this is very much Hanged Man energy. Most people busy themselves in the bright lights of the city while the dimly lit chamber calls out to us in the night. So you've been busying yourself with a wrongful approach, with a distorted perspective, and in embracing the lesson of the Hanged Man, you are choosing to enter the cave and let it teach you patience. You are choosing to have a meaningful retreat where you can finally see with clarity your true self in darkness. This connects you with self-understanding and compassion. And I think that might be where you're at the moment, is you are learning to override the egoic pessimism and disenchantment with a greater sense of wholeness and understanding and compassion that we can see in the self archetype, or the higher self, if you will, or the world. See the wisdom of the cave, see the wisdom in the cave and what you're meant to be grasping right now. There's a lot of potency to draw out of being in the cave. This is a really meaningful piece of the puzzle and part of your process. So draw the wisdom out of it, see it with complete understanding, and hold this greater perspective instead of falling into the pessimism of your egoic self. And, to keep it simple, let it teach you patience. How can you learn to be really patient with this retreat? Let it connect you with your heart center. Let it bring back feeling, because the Four of Cups is not feeling. This is feeling numb. Being numb to your emotions and not allowing emotions to enter your field. And the universe is wanting to give you that cup so badly. So how can you allow yourself to feel again? Can the cave teach you that? Now I'm going to get some Work Your Light messages. Get grounded. Empaths, highly sensitives, connect with nature. So maybe find a physical cave, retreat to nature, get grounded, work with your body, whatever that looks like to you. Shake, tremble, cry. Work with your physical body. Let out some physical responses to what's energetically unfolding. Yeah. Dance with life. Do something to change your energy. So when I get this, I literally think about dancing and shaking and how that shakes things up, that really gets you out of dormant energy. It gets you into more of a sympathetic, but even better than that, more of like a playful, mixed ventral vagal state. So literally shake, move to change your energy. Get yourself into a playful, curious, adventurous, spontaneous state by moving your body. That's all you need, because that's what kids do, right? Your energy is dormant. You just gotta wake yourself up. And here's confirmation. The Age of Light. You've been training for this for lifetimes. to recognize that what you're doing isn't small. This lesson is a big deal. I always say the Hanged Man is probably one of the biggest lessons out of all the major arcanas, which are all lessons. All those cards point to spiritual lessons, but the Hanged Man is a really big one for the modern human being, because we don't know how to sit still. We're always inundated with stimuli and, goals and desires and what to do next. Everything is a means to an end. We're rarely taught to surrender like the Hanged Man does. So this is a huge lesson and turning point for the modern human being. And so if you're experiencing this is a big deal, and you should be proud of yourself for going through this. One more message, please. This looks like a cave. The initiation, rite of passage, crossing the threshold. Yeah, again, it's a huge deal. This marks a very significant turning point in your journey. See it as such. This is a very important turning point for you. You're crossing a threshold. You're performing a rite of passage for yourself. You ritualize what you're going through. One more. Soul family. Call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. So if you ever feel like you're losing perspective, if you're down on yourself, maybe there are people that you can reach out to. And if those people come to mind, as I'm saying this, it's probably time to connect with them, to seek some support. And group 1 also got this card and the exact same message, which makes sense because we're in December and many people are celebrating Christmas and Hanukkah and the New Year. So this makes sense. Connect with your loved ones, connect with your tribe, seek support, share with them where you're at in your journey and what you need from them at the moment. Now let's get some future energies for group 3. What might be possible if you were to follow the advice that is here? 3. Nice. What else? Group 3. What might be possible in the near future? Group 3. Nice. Okay, clarify the 7 of Wands, please. Okay, so we're starting with the Fool. This is so lovely to see after the Hanged Man, because this tells me that you will be surrendered moving forward to simply the way the universe wishes. The Fool is somebody who embraces not knowing, and that is the Fool's wisdom. It's the number 0 because we begin and end the major arcana journey with this card. At the beginning, we embrace that we do not know, and we seek a journey of the unknown. And at the very end, we realize that we still do not know, and the only thing that we required is that humility, that we now know that we do not know. And so we're right back at 0, the Fool. And that is the wisdom here. It's ultimate surrender in a way. The Hanged Man forces you to surrender to aligning with the truth of reality, with the way the universe intends things to be. And the Fool is somebody who follows that with a lot of humility, surrender, and curiosity. Like, he plays with that. He's playful about it. He's not solemn. He's not serious. He's just like, well, well, if I'm never going to know anything, I might as well just enjoy the way things are, the way things are intended to be for me on this path. And because of that, he's supported. His guides look out for him. They warn him of imminent danger. They whisper in his ear and tell him where to go. The fool is lucky because he is so open, surrendered, and curious. So this is the embodiment that you're moving towards. And then we have the Seven of Wands, clarified by the Empress, and the Six of Wands. So what I'm seeing here is sovereignty, a sense of self-trust, self-belief. Being so sovereign on your throne that you're not shaken by other people's opinions, or when things don't go your way, you're unaffected by external realities. You have strong boundaries, strong barrier and shield, that things don't touch you, things don't affect your self-belief. That's what I'm picking up from this. So along with the curiosity of the Fool, the openness, the surrender, you will also be sovereign in that you won't be affected by other people's opinions or doubts. You won't be affected by your own doubts. You won't be affected by external difficulties or mishaps. You will very much be self-trusting, self-believing. And I'll leave you with the Six of Wands. This is being successful and finding victory, achieving victory, so much so that the people around you can be happy for you. They can applaud for you and, celebrate your success. So this is feeling really proud that you've come such a long way, and feeling recognition for that also. And I love that because we talked about being in the cave, being in retreat, sacrificing, and finding patience. And that's often something we have to do alone that doesn't get recognition when we're in it. In fact, I think oftentimes when we're in the cave, we question it ourselves and we're like, what is going on? I'm not doing what my friends are doing. They're out there having fun and I'm here wallowing in self-pity. What's going on? And so I really like that we're ending with the Six of Wands, because this means that all your sacrifice, all of your hard work that you had to go about alone will be recognized in the end. People will see why you had to do the things you did, why you had to retreat and seclude yourself and go quiet and still. They'll see why this was necessary for you to get to where you're going to be. And I think that's really important to hear when you're on a journey such as this, when you're learning the lesson of the Hanged Man. So I hope you really take it in. Your hard work will be recognized and appreciated. The sacrifices you're making will be recognized and appreciated. So trust your path, trust where you're at. You know what you're doing, and you're doing it really well. So trust in all of that. Thank you so much, Group 3, for being here. Please let me know in the comments below if it did resonate. And I'm sending you so much love, light, and healing. And I'll leave you with a message from our favorite sponsor, Squarespace, who's been with us all year supporting this channel. I'll leave you with that and hopefully see you in another reading or another video. Thank you so much to Squarespace for supporting this channel and for sponsoring today's video. If you don't already know, Squarespace is an all-in-one platform that helps you create stunning websites to build a strong professional online presence. So whether you're a creative or you're job hunting or you're just getting started with your entrepreneurial journey, or maybe you've been at it for a while, I think Squarespace might have what you're looking for. All Squarespace templates are crafted by world-class designers to help you stand out and make a strong first impression with your customers. All Squarespace online stores are also designed to maximize the visibility of your brand and help shoppers find your products. With Squarespace email campaigns, you can create stunning emails with easy editing tools and customizable layouts, all while staying consistent with your website's branding. Not to mention, their award-winning customer support is available 24/7 via email or live chat if you ever come across any issues. I actually had a little bit of a stumble with my website over the weekend, and I was able to get support right away, and it really didn't take up too much time at all. Check out squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to my link squarespace.com/ediyasmr to save 10% off of your first website or domain. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for watching. And thanks again, Squarespace. I'm sending you all so much love, light, healing. I'll see you next time.